Hi guys, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to Semondo Talks. My name is Christina and I'm here to introduce you to some of the smartest Amazon experts from all around the world. If you're already a subscriber to our channel, you get a thumbs up from me now. If you're new to our channel and you'd like to get some industry insights, hear some interesting stories about entrepreneurship, and learn some useful hacks that you can apply to your own Amazon business, make sure you subscribe to our channel now and hit that notification bell so you will never miss another episode again. My guest for you today is Manuel Kretschmer, founder of the German Amazon full service agency AMZ Controlling. Let's say hi and see what he will tell us. So I'm here today with Manuel Kretschmer, who's an author, a keynote speaker, and the founder of AMZ Controlling. He's based in Munich, Germany, and also in Glasgow. Hi, Manuel. Glad to have you here.
Hi, Christina. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to hopefully answer some of my questions. So let's start right away. In one sentence, what is AMZ Controlling?
AMZ Controlling is a full-service Amazon agency based in Munich and Glasgow, helping sellers and vendors reach their goals on Amazon worldwide.
And what kind of services do you offer exactly?
Well, basically, we see ourselves as the captain of the Amazon business, and then we individually check, which kind of services they need, our clients need, what they can do in-house. And our main, our core parts are SEO and advertising, as well as the whole strategic planning. Yeah, and our clients, we'll get to that later.
All right. When did you decide to found your company?
Well over 4 years ago, I started AMZ Controlling after I was a successful seller on Amazon myself.
So what's your story in general? How did you get the idea to found an agency?
Well, it's a very long story, probably take a couple of hours to explain. Around 5 years ago, I was asked by a friend to come on board with his nutritional supplement company. I was doing the whole sales process, and I also came up with the Amazon idea. Back in the day, it was quite easy with a few tricks. Yeah, we were a top seller, and but then internally we split up. He moved on with the company. I founded the agency, and now we're here.
And so you said you have your own experience with selling on Amazon, which of course is great because you know how all the workflows look like and what to consider. Are there also other reasons why I should choose your agency over other agencies?
Well, basically, I think, one of the main reasons is the fact that we have in total now 5 successful brands on Amazon, and not from the easy times, but also we just founded a new brand, a new project just 3 months ago, which is already doing very well here in the EU. And this is one of the main reasons that we always test our strategies first. And there's a really up-to-date strategies now in 2019. And, as soon as we get to 2020, it will be up to date. Will be up to date as well. And also we have the experience, what it takes to, found a company, to scale up a company, while other agencies, very often, they just have the Amazon knowledge. They know how to push the sales, but we also know how important profits are. And so we cover the whole area, and we've got a lot of experience in various categories. Now we've got a portfolio. It's generating more than 10 million euros in sales every month. So this is, I think, quite good, and shows that we have a lot of experience.
And in the beginning, you mentioned that you're working internationally. Does that mean that you serve clients from all over the world?
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, our core part is the EU, but we are now also helping sellers from the US expand to the EU, which is very, very interesting. And and also the other way around, bringing clients from the EU to the US. And we're doing some stuff in Australia as well. Japan we have not yet covered, but yeah, all the EU markets, the US and Australia.
So if I understand that correctly, when I'm an US seller and I want to sell in the French market, for example, I can work with your German agency as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, we've got 2 locations here in Munich and in Glasgow, but we also have native French-speaking people, Italian and Spanish. I have to admit that Spain and Italy, those markets are not that big yet, but yeah, Germany, the UK, and France might be very, very interesting to sell on.
Definitely. So I assume that you have lots of experience, like from selling yourself, and now that you have your agency for several years, which mistakes do you observe that your clients make?
There's a lot of mistakes.
Like the top three mistakes.
Well, the number one mistake is that people and companies focus on the wrong things. So they always ask the question, how can I get a better ACOS, a better ROI? How can I do this and do that? But they forget the basics. So this is something I teach all the time, is to really build a brand and see Amazon as one distribution channel instead of a business. So the times of having your own Amazon private label business, I think those times are pretty much over. It's much more expensive, much more competitive, and this will mean that you're just going through the price or the reviews. So you're always dependent on that. But if you have an own brand, a real good story, a personal story, then it's much easier to scale your business on Amazon. So this is one of the main, the most big mistakes. And on the other side, I think, that the calculation is wrong, so that they underestimate how much more money Amazon will take from them. No matter if you're a seller or a vendor, in both ways, Amazon will take a lot more money out of your pocket. And it takes a lot of experience, knowledge, and also a couple of tools to find out, how much Amazon owes you, how everything is going. And that was one big mistake I made myself, that we had a lot of growth, a lot of sales. It all looked great. But then in the end, the profits there were no profits. Absolutely no profits. A lot of money got burned. And then we found out that we're selling through Seller Central as a third-party seller. And then we found out that Amazon has made changes to our packaging dimensions. So we thought that we were shipping products to them in standard size, but then they managed to for some reason to make it bigger. I think I always imagine 2 people standing there with the product and tearing both sides, and to make sure to get 1 centimeter more out of it. And I think that was happened. So then per unit we sold, we paid €3 more, because it was oversized instead of standard size. Now, and if you have a couple of thousand units you sell per month, then all of a sudden this can make a big difference. This is one thing. And I think the third big mistake is not to take Amazon seriously enough. So a lot of clients we work with, they say, okay, we're gonna check Amazon out. We're gonna try a little bit, start with a couple of things, do this and that. That's not how Amazon works. So if you really want to be successful on Amazon, you have to take it seriously from day one on. Starts with the planning, the right products. You have to have enough knowledge and manpower, and also financial resources to make it happen.
So not as just some random additional sales channel that will go by itself, but really take it seriously.
Yeah, take it seriously. Still, I think it's really important to have your online, your web shop, maybe also offline business. That's all great, and then Amazon can be this extra channel. However, when you want to do it, you have to do it the right way, and then you might be successful.
Hopefully. Now that we talked about mistakes, how do you deal with you making mistakes? When a client says, "Hey, I'm not happy with the work you provided me with," how do you manage such a client, such a situation?
Well, fortunately, this is not happening very often with us.
That's good.
Because I think it already starts, with what you expect from the business. And I think a lot of other Amazon experts and also agencies, they promise the world. They say, we're gonna really crush it here and make a lot of money. And I do it a little the other way around. I try to keep the expectations quite low and then over deliver. And this, turned out to be a very good strategy. And of course, still, there's a lot of roadblocks on the way. And, we sit down all the time also with our clients, explain the whole situation. We analyze every single aspect of the Amazon business. And also maybe sometimes it's something else, has nothing to do with Amazon. Maybe they got some bad media outside of Amazon. There's so many things that could be responsible for your business not going well on Amazon. And then we always find a solution. That's our promise to our clients. We always find a solution for the issue, no matter what, as long as it's a good product. I mean, if it's a very shitty product, only receiving 1 or 2 star reviews, and it's really a bad product, what can we do? Then that's the thing I said a couple of minutes ago. You don't want to focus on the wrong things. You can't focus on a good ACOS or ROI if you don't cover the basics, and the basics are the products and the branding.
Do you even take on clients that come to you with this like really generic product that has like 4,000 competitors? Let's take the famous garlic press example. Which has a bad quality, and then they say, "Hey, can you help me get successful on Amazon?" Or do you like honestly say, "This is not gonna happen with that product"?
Definitely, I will definitely honestly say, I'm sorry, it's not gonna, at least not with us. It's not gonna happen. So I think this is also one of the key parts. So I'm also doing a lot of our sales process, talking to the clients, and then filtering out the bad leads quite quickly. And I have a lot of experience. So within 10 to 15 minutes, I will know whether this will make sense or not. And if it doesn't make sense, I will tell you immediately, because it's a waste of my time, it's a waste of your time. So,
and a waste of money for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So you said that it doesn't happen very often that a client is not happy. So assume you have a lot of happy clients. Could you name 3 things that your clients say about your agency and your work?
One thing they like the most is our availability. So no matter if it's during the day or very late in the evening or during weekends, you will always reach somebody from our agency if there's an issue, if there's a problem. And we know that sometimes, if a product gets banned, if the account gets shut down, you can't afford to have a normal weekend. So that's one thing. The other thing is that what they really like is that we are always up to date. So if there's something new function, something new within the Amazon sphere, we always know about it. We are already testing it, and then deciding whether we're gonna work with that or not. And what they really like is our honest way to do how we do business. And this starts, as I just said, before a client comes on board. I would rather say no than have a bad relationship with the client and a not working business for them. And that we always look at it, we always look at the big picture. So we're not only seeing Amazon, we check, how is it going with their website, their social media activities. We might give them some tips as well, that it's all, that there's a branding that's the same through all the channels, and then it will help each other grow as well.
All right. What do you expect from your clients? I know a lot of times it's the other way around. People always asking like, what do you expect from your agency? But at Sermondo, of course, we know both sides, and we also know that it's sometimes hard to work with a client. So how does your ideal client look like?
Ooh, that's a tough question, huh? Well, there's multiple aspects. I mean, on the one hand, it's about the number of products. So what I expect when I take somebody on board is for them to have a good brand. And a brand means you have a couple of products. So a brand is probably not just one product. Then it might be a nice product, but it's not a brand. And that this brand has a good personal and emotional story. And that's one part. That's the basics. Then the other part is obviously that there's a good financial background. So what I don't want to do is, tell people, you invest $2,000, $5,000, 5,000 euros, and then, we'll scale it. We'll scale your business. So I really, again, it's all about expectations. So I tell them it's probably going to be much more expensive than we now imagine. Of course, this company or this person should also have a e-commerce background or some knowledge already, because at the moment, what we're doing now is we're not offering the whole full service anymore. So that's how we started. We started as a full service agency. People just gave their accounts to us. We got a percentage share of the overall sales, and then we took care of everything, even customer service and reviews, like basically everything. But now it's the effort is much higher. So we analyzed it and looked at it, and thought about what are our main things we want to work on, what are our strengths, and now we're only doing this, and then advising our clients with strategic consulting to cover the rest. So they need some manpower themselves as well. And ideally, it's hard to say when can you work with us, but what I can tell you is that usually from 30 to 50 grand in sales per month, you could afford us. Let's put it like that, because that's also a big issue, that in some small sellers coming to us, they're doing maybe 10 to 20 grand in sales per month. And as much as I would love to help them, I already know that it's probably no way for them, to pay us the amount we are worth. And so that's again with the financial background. There has to be enough money.
I have a question regarding your first point. When you say that your client should have a strong brand, would you also be willing to help develop a brand for your client, or should they really already have one?
Well, best case scenario would be that they already would have it. But we've in the past, we've helped a lot of clients, improve their brand. What we also do is, product research. We come up with new product ideas that would fit into their brand as well, especially for Amazon. So we can do that. And I mean, I've done it successfully a couple of times myself to, build from the product idea or the brand idea to a successful business. So I know what it takes, what you need for that. So I'm happy to help.
All right. Then I'm already at my last question regarding your work. You said that you always try out like new changes and everything with your own brands. How do you stay up to date? Do you read blogs? Do you know someone on the inside? Or how do you manage to keep track of all the updates?
Well, pretty much all of it. So of course we have, multiple people who work, at Amazon. We're in touch with, we have a lot of talks and meetings also with vendor managers, with seller managers, with advertising managers. So we always make sure that we communicate a lot with them. And then obviously we are in all the Facebook groups, we're reading blogs and newsletters, and also all our account managers here at our agency, they have to do some research every day. Then we all put it together in one pot and then talk about it. What's new and how can we tackle new issues, or how can we use new functions, for example, with advertising. And we test it, and then we're moving pretty fast there.
Awesome. All right, then to the juicy part. Now it's about you. You said you have a long life story. I have one general question about it. Like, why did you decide to work self-employed instead of working for another firm? What's driving you to do this?
Well, as long as I can, think back, it started when I was quite young. I always had this thought, to do something myself. Whenever I imagined myself working at a company or working for somebody, it just didn't feel right. And also the whole school thing, university. I mean, I went to school, I got quite a good degree, but then I already knew that I will never study, especially not, just to study. And then I thought, what do I like? What do I want? And I love sports. I love to do some acting. So I first thought, maybe go this direction. But yeah, at some point then when I was 21, it was 1 year after I graduated, I went into multi-level marketing. So I partnered up with a big company also from the US, and I had a big dream to get rich quick, drive a nice car, have a nice watch, good life. And it was quite a naive thinking back then, but I'm always a person who, if I say I will do something, then I will take it seriously, and then I won't stop until I succeed. And that's what I did there. After 9 months, I was the #1 sales partner in Germany, and at the age of 21, with no experience, just I just did it. I'm not really sure how I did it, but I didn't give a shit when some people were laughing at me, or they had their doubts what I was doing. I don't care. I look at my goal, I visualize my goal, and then I make sure that I achieve it. So that's always been, I'm very competitive. So no matter what I've done, also back in school when we did some sports, I always want to win. I always want to, be the best. And I expect a lot from myself, more than I expect from others. I think this is also a very important thing. I take responsibility for pretty much everything. And
so you basically already had the perfect entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, I think the mindset was always right. And I could talk hours about my story. I think I already gave a couple of podcast interviews, though in German language. We might do something in English at some point as well. There I talk much more about my story. I had a lot of setbacks, but I always, stood up again and fought.
What excites you most about working in the Amazon industry? I mean, there are also a lot of other like niche markets. You could also, I don't know, maybe help eBay sellers or just help building websites or whatever. So why did you choose working in the Amazon sphere?
Well, I think the reason why I originally decided to do that was, again, because I saw an interesting market, easy money to make, but that was only the beginning. And that was the reason why I started it and started selling on Amazon, because I saw a couple of success stories and I thought, okay, if somebody else can do it, I can do it. But then it got much, the effort you have to put into your Amazon business right now is, I think, ×4 compared to 3-4 years ago. Yeah. So it got quite crazy. And at some point I sat down and thought, why am I even doing this? Because every day is different. You can't foresee what Amazon will do. They will make changes without notifying anybody. So it's quite tough. It's quite tough and dynamic business. But I like the way how Amazon does business. Although very often, when we're helping vendors and sellers, they're doing a lot of stuff that harms the vendors and sellers. But overall, they know what they're doing and they want to dominate instead of compete. And that's also something I value. You can always look at your competition and be like, how can we be a bit better, or copy something? But they're just there. They had a new strategy, and they just dominated every single area where they invested in. And and I wrote a book, published a book quite recently. It's called the Amazon DNA, and I think this is
it in German or in English?
In German, but I will there will be an English copy available soon.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure how soon, but we're working on it. So
when it's ready, I will put the link in the description so our users can read it.
Yeah, and there I talk a lot about, again, not about, you can optimize this and that and how to do the PPC campaigns, because everybody will have another view on it. But what should be the same always is how your company is set up. So the setup of your company to have to incorporate the Amazon DNA into your company as well, that's really important. This will mean that I always imagine myself on a surfboard on a tsunami wave. That's how it feels. That's how it feels to have an Amazon business or run an agency. And you can't make mistakes, because if you make a mistake surfing a tsunami wave, it will be over, and it's almost impossible to surf a tsunami wave. Yeah. So you really have to have a lean business. Although it's a big business, you still have to make sure that you can adapt to the markets, to the changes all the time. And I think that's key to have a successful business, and expect setbacks. You have to, of course, we always set ourselves big goals, and those goals keep us going when we have setbacks or bad times. But we really have to make sure that if something goes wrong, we always have a plan B we can easily utilize as well.
Very good. If you could only use one adjective, how would you describe your work situation?
My work situation, like my whole, like everything,
like everything. You can take your time.
Could use a lot of adjectives.
Yeah, it's hard to fit in the good and the bad.
Yeah. Well, let's just say dynamic. It's
dynamic.
It's very dynamic.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of what you just said.
Yeah.
All right. What's the thing that you like least about your job?
Always sitting behind a computer. Because I travel a lot, and I love to do some meetings. But what I don't like is just from morning till evening sitting behind the desk of my computer and just looking at the screen. But that's part of the business, and but I try to reduce it as much as possible.
What do you think about the digital nomad style? People imagine that you just take your laptop, go to Bali, and then sit underneath the palm tree and just work. Do you think there are people that really do this in real life, or it's not as great as it seems?
I think there are a couple of people who live that lifestyle and they're really happy with it. I love that lifestyle as well, but I can maybe explain real quick how that looks when I do it. How that looks like when I do it. So usually like twice a year, I pack my stuff and I go to Asia or go to Dubai for a month, and I enjoy a lot of sun. But the reality is that I will have to work probably all day as well. So
Yeah.
I never have a real vacation. So this is the bad thing about it. I think it's not easy to be a digital nomad. It depends on the business you do. If it's a small business, it might be enough to work maybe 4 to 6 hours a day. You can easily do this at the beach as well, no matter where you are. And the good thing, I mean, my whole company is remote, so we're all living this a little bit, but not the way we imagined it. So people can work from home. I don't care where they do the work, when they do the work, as long as we meet the deadlines and as long as the results and the qualities are really good. So I think that's really important. But in reality, it's a lot of work. And I mean, if you are in Asia, you're 5 or 6 hours ahead of Europe. Then people might give you a call at 3 a.m. It's daily business. So I have a lot of Skype calls also. At times where usually during holidays I would do some other stuff and enjoy life a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think this is, it's not how it seems, but I still like it more than just to be at the office all day.
Yeah.
So I really like it. Maybe go to the gym at 2 p.m., then work again from 4 p.m. So you're much more flexible during the day, because this normal 9 to 5 job it's out of date. Yeah.
Definitely nothing for you.
No.
All right. What is a skill or a character trait that you wish you had, but you don't have?
You're asking me tough questions there. Characters or skill I would like to have. I'll probably be a little bit more patient. That would help. And maybe to understand people better, because this is that's a tough thing to really I mean, I've got a lot of experience. I've worked with a lot of people, had a lot of employees, but still every time I'm surprised again how different people can be, and often the facade is much different from the reality then. So that's something I have to work on,
to read
as
people
well.
more.
Yeah, to read people better.
Yeah.
I'm a lot better now at it, but still, and have a little more patience. That would be great.
If you could have a superpower, which one would it be? And how would you use it?
Probably to teleport anywhere in the world. That would be great. Yeah, it would save me a lot of time. I don't have that much time. That would be great. Maybe time travel as well, but it's another story. Yeah.
That's actually my next question. If you could time travel and go back like 5 years in your life, or let's say 10, what advice would you give to your younger self regarding your future?
It probably would be quite tough to give myself some advice, because I know myself and I don't take advice so easily. I always have to try out first, and
so you wouldn't listen to yourself?
No, probably I wouldn't listen. If I would travel back now and explain to myself all the hard times, all the setbacks I would experience, there's probably no way around it. I would have to experience that made me the person I am today. So yeah, it's pretty tough, but probably I would give some advice, and that's again, to be a little bit more patient, because I'm now only 27. I've worked so hard for many years now. I've experienced, I think, more than other people in 20, 30 years of a hard working life. So yeah, and I always want to achieve everything really fast. So yeah.
To
chill
calm
down a little
bit.
bit, calm down a little bit. There's also other parts in life that's also important, not only working all the time. Yeah. because life might be over quite soon. You never know.
Yeah.
That's something, yeah, I now discover more and more that there's other aspects to life as well.
Was there a time where you felt so overwhelmed with work that you wanted to quit?
Couple of times, absolutely, yeah. And I've experienced also very, very bad setbacks, lost a lot of money, trusted the wrong people.
How do you get yourself out of a situation like that? Because I know that many of our listeners, like Amazon sellers, they have several drawbacks as well. Like they get a shitty product, or something's not working out, or they hire the wrong person. So you can easily feel like giving up. How do you put yourself out of that mindset and situation? What's your advice?
I think there's a couple of things. So the first thing would be to always believe and trust in yourself. So and to never lose sight of the end goal. So what I'm very good at is visualizing my goals. And my goals, they are not an option. They're an obligation that I have to achieve them. So I think this is something when I talk to other people, they tell me about their setbacks. I don't have the feeling that they really want it. They say they want it, they do something, but they would want to achieve it as much as they want to breathe. It really has to be that way. And then I think you can unleash almost like superpowers and endurance, and you could achieve much more than you could ever think. And that's something, yeah, I think many people lack this ability. Yeah.
That's awesome advice. So set a clear goal and then live for it. That's your advice.
Yes.
All right.
And a goal is, I'm doing so many different things. I always have so many ideas, and they need to happen. I have to make sure they work out. But
so you get like obsessed with it.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, there's I don't know if you know Grant Cardone. Do you know Grant Cardone? Yeah, sure. So he also says, be obsessed or be average. That's a very hard way to put it, but that's basically what it is. There's so many people who are not making the most out of their lives, and I always think myself, why are we on this planet? Why are we living, if not to become the best version we ever imagined? And if we look at ourselves when we were babies and children, how much new stuff we learn every day, it's crazy. And then at some point we just stop and just live life how it is, complain about everything.
Especially Germans.
Especially Germans, yeah. Of course, not all the Americans. They live the American dream. That's how it is, and it's a shame. I think people could make so much more out of their lives.
All right.
Sure.
Speaking of people that are obsessed with development and success, if you could walk straight into Jeff Bezos' office and ask him for one thing, what would it be?
First, I would probably say it's a nice office, but
and nice new wife or girlfriend.
Yeah, that too. Well, that's probably the toughest question today, no? Because there's so many things because a lot of things I would like to ask him. Probably how he structures his day. That I would be very interesting to know that, because I've read a lot of stuff about him. Also things that he always sleeps 8 hours, which is very different from a lot of other people. Also like Elon Musk, I really think that's a great individual as well. But he always seems tired and quite stressed.
Exhausted.
But when I look at Jeff Bezos, he's in shape. He's got a crazy fitness body. He looks He looks really good, you know, and not just physically, but it all seems to be all right. So, and I mean, he's the richest man on the planet. Is crazy. His company is moving at such a high speed, and how is he managing it? That would
How can
be
you be so chill about it and not
yeah.
freak out?
Because when I look at my life, I mean, of course, I'm involved in a lot of stuff, but that's a whole other level. It's crazy. I'm a huge respect to that.
Who or what inspires you?
Oh, of course, also Jeff Bezos, and also Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk a little bit more from the visionary perspective, because I mean, Amazon, it's great, and it's also a big vision he had more than 20 years ago to create this. But Elon Musk, you know, if I could sit down with him and, you know, talk about aliens, talk about AI, that's really interesting things. So I'm thinking a lot about the future, and Elon Musk is a person who always is doing good research and developments in those areas. So
I feel like Elon Musk sometimes is like a child and he has this crazy ideas, but then he just does it.
Yeah.
Like no one's stopping him. He's like, okay, I imagined this and I want to do it. All right. Speaking of famous people, if you could hire one famous person in the world to work with you or for you, who would that be and why? Would it be Elon Musk or someone else?
It probably would be again Elon Musk, or maybe also Jeff Bezos. Not sure whether they would want to work for me, but
they have to.
We could try it. No, but those are really great individuals. I mean, so many other great people on the planet. It's not easy to name just one person, but it would have to be someone who's really dedicated. You know, really takes life seriously, wants to achieve goals. Really ambitious person, and I think those two would definitely be.
Maybe they can work as a team together for you.
Yeah,
we can ask.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm already at my last question. If you had the attention of every Amazon seller in the world and you'd be able to give 3 tips to them, which tips would that be?
It's probably, I would now have to repeat a couple of things I already said throughout the interview. The number one thing I now keep telling people is to really build a brand. That's just because so many people are still in the mindset to just, you know, use some tools, check out what niches are interesting, how is the competition doing, how much sales are they making. You know, most numbers, they're estimated by the tools. That's all nice, but you won't get anywhere anymore. You really have to have a personal story. And, you know, also Amazon, why is Amazon so successful? Because it's a huge brand. It has a huge credibility. Lots of people trust Amazon, and this takes years to build. So that's also probably the next, the second tip. You know, be patient, work hard, don't expect too much, but always keep your end goal. You know, keep your end goal up high, think about it a lot, visualize it, and and then, you know, make sure that your company, that's also a very important thing, and also something I made a couple of mistakes, is, you know, how you build your company. Because very often, you know, just a couple of friends, they come up with an idea, 3 or 4 friends, and then they say, okay, let's do this. And then we just split up the work between us. But none of them has the knowledge, the experience, the money, nothing. It's just a couple of people. And that's how I started doing business as well. And if I start a new company right now, then I put it the other way around. I look at the product, at the idea, and what would we need in order, you know, to make it successful? We need somebody, you know, who's maybe familiar with all the legal stuff. You know, how has the packaging, how do we have to do that? We need some, so I look for competences, and then, you know, I look for people who could fill in those, fit in those areas. I think those are the three main tips. And, you know, if you have employees, if you like them, that's nice. But they have to deliver, and they have to have the competences, the knowledge for their specific area. So I now always make sure to hire only the best people in their area. Whereas, you know, a couple of years ago, I would be looking at, you know, who is maybe cheap, who do I like. That's all nice, but it won't get you anywhere. And I've lost a lot of money because of that. And then, a lot of friendships are broken because of that. So, and if you say before you start an undertaking or a company, if you then be honest, look at it, look at the facts, and then you'll probably find out that maybe your team isn't the team you need in order to achieve it.
All right. And of course, you can find the best people and agencies on Sermondo, such as Manuel's agency.
Absolutely.
All right, then we're already at the end of our interview. Thank you so much for taking the time. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I wish you lots of success, and I hope to speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Christina. And hopefully talk to you soon. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Alrighty, that's it. That was my interview with Manuel. I hope you enjoyed it and learned some useful things that you can apply to your own Amazon business. If you have any questions for Manuel or for me, simply leave your comment below this video. I also included some helpful links in the description where you can find out more about AMZ Controlling and or Sermondo.com. And now I want to know from you guys, what do you think makes a good Amazon full service agency? Is it a good support? Is this a broad service portfolio? Like, whatever comes to your mind. I'm curious. I want to know. Leave your comment below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, now is your chance. You can do this by simply clicking the red subscribe button here or the Sermondo globe somewhere here. And if you do that, I will definitely see you guys next time.